Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Qistina Batrisyah binti Muhammadon. I am 12 years old. I school at Sekolah Kebangsaan Pasir Putih Tawau. At my school, I held the positions of school prefect. One of my highest achievements is I always represent and become the champions in women's category in Tilawah Al-Quran competition during the Al-Quran recitation ceremony 2019 and 2020. I also participated in reading and sharing book competition in conjunction with Kuala Lumpur International Book Fair and also Teachers' Day Poems Reading Asian. So today, I am gonna show and tell you about my 5 favorite storybooks. The first book entitled Princess Bedtime Stories. I have read this book several times but never get bored. This book was published by Disney Press New York on 5 September 2017. These books have 300 pages. This book is the book I'm most interested in among the 5 favorite books. This book not only have one story in one book. It have 19 stories in one book. As the title, Princess Bedtime Story, I always read this book before I go to sleep. The story that I love, one of the story that I love in this book is Just Say Please. This story feature character is from Beauty and the Beast. The story tells us about Mr. Beast who not polite to everybody. He was looking for a key that he used to open a room where he stored all her equipment carpentry. He need all the carpentry equipment to repair the palace roof that leaking. Mr. Beast need to fix the palace roof as soon as possible before the entire place was flooded by rainwater that entered through the hole at the palace roof. One night, Mr. Beast held 2 crosswords, a coat clock, and Lumiere, a candle. He said, "Did you see my key? Two small key that tie with 1 pair of strings?" asked Mr. Beast. Lumiere and Cosworth say, "No, they didn't see the keys anywhere. But actually, Bella, Mr. Beast's wife, already see the key and she put the key on her pocket. She don't want to give the key to Mr. Beast, 'cause she and Chip, a small cubs that also live in the castle, they are planning something to make Mr. Beast more polite to everybody." Billy and Chip plan a game that called Treasure Hunt. While all the people are on the living room, when Mr. Beast asks them did they see the key, Billy voiced her request, so everybody will gather in the Belle room to play with her. But Mr. Beast doesn't want to play with them. Mr. Beast stomped her feet, sign undissatisfaction. He did not want to join a game that wastes his time. But Billy managed to persuade Mr. Beast play with them until the end of the game. In this game, they need to find some cards that hidden everywhere. Each card contains clue and also missing words at the end too. The first card was with Bella. Bella read it. To see your face is the reason you use me. To interrupt, you need to say. After hearing Bella read the clue, Chips, the small cup, said, "Excuse me." Her mother, Miss Potts, that was a kettle, said, "Go, Chip. We use mirror to see our face, and when we want to interrupt a conversation, we need to say, 'Excuse me.'" Yes. They all go to a big mirror. They search for the next clue on the big mirror's frame. And then Chip finds the next clue. Chip asks her mother, Miss Potts, to read it. Miss Potts read. "A knight in armor clinks and clanks. When someone's nice, we should say." After hearing Mrs. Potts read the clue, Cogsworth, the coat clock, and Lumiere, the candle, answer simultaneously. "Thank you," they said. Lumiere immediately takes the next card from the armor and read. "Missing keys are found with easy. If you remember just to say." After hearing Lumiere read the clue, everybody looked at Mr. Beast. Now he understands that the treasure hunt game is Bella's way to help him be more polite. Mr. Beast smiles as he says, "Please." Bella returned Mr. Beast's smiles and gave the key back to Mr. Beast. The key that Mr. Beast have been looking for. Mr. Beast ran happily out of the room, and then he immediately came back into the room and said thank you to Bella. From that day, Mr. Beast became a polite person. What I learned from this story is the politeness is very important to everyone. With this attitude, many people will be like us. Next, for the second book entitled Little Red Riding Hood. So this is the book. This is the girl who named Little Red Riding Hood. This girl lived lives in the forest with her mom. One day, she wants to visit her grandmother that are sick. Before she go out, her mother instructs her to not talk to strangers. But in her way to her grandma's house, she talked to a wolf that she didn't know. The wolves follow her until she reached her grandmother's house. Suddenly, the wolf roared at Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. The wolf ate Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. The lesson from this story is we need to heed our parents' word. Don't be a stubborn children. For the third book, I have this Snow White. Snow White have a stepmother. Her stepmother always give her a hard work every day. Snow White's stepmother doesn't like her until one day Snow White's stepmother asks her employees to take Snow White to the forest and kill her in the forest. But all her stepmother employees don't want to kill Snow White, but they still bring Snow White into the forest. They don't want to kill Snow White because Snow White is a kind-hearted person. So they ask Snow White to find another home in the forest. In the forest, Snow White lives with 7 dwarfs and the other animals in the forest. All the 7 dwarfs and all the animals in the forest love Snow White because Snow White was very kind-hearted person. Until one day, a prince came into the forest and sees Snow White. The prince asked Snow White to marry him. They married and they lived happily together. The moral of the story is we should be a kind-hearted person so many people will love us. For the fourth book, I choose this book, The Mermaid Princess book. So the story is about this mermaid princess, who asks a witch to turn her into a human because she wants to marry a prince. The witch agreed, but the witch said that this mermaid princess tongue need to be cut off and she couldn't talk. And then this mermaid princess agreed with the conditions. But there's one more conditions. This mermaid princess need immediately to marry her dream prince, because if not, she will turn into a bubble in the ocean. After this mermaid princess turned into a human, she persuaded her dream prince to marry her, but the prince don't want because the prince already married with another princess. So the lesson I've learned from this story is that greed will harm oneself. So don't be greedy. For the 5th and the last book, this is the book. The 5th book, which is the last book, is entitled Sleeping Beauty. So the story is about Princess Aurora. This is Princess Aurora. Princess Aurora was cursed by a witch when she was a baby. So the curse is on her 15th birthday, if she touch a needle with her finger, she will get faint and sleep for 1,000 years. But the curse can also be end when a prince kisses her. So, on Princess Aurora's 15th birthday, she accidentally touched a needle with her fingers. So she get faint and sleep. So the curse started. Same as all the people in the castle. They also get faint and sleep. So so from that day, the kingdom was called as the sleep kingdom. So after a few years, a prince come to the sleep kingdom, cause he was interested with the story, and the prince came to the sleep kingdom and find Princess Aurora. She found Princess Aurora and give her a very since ver- the prince gave the princess a sincere kiss from the heart. So after the prince kissed Princess Aurora and all the people in the castle that was sleep get woke up again. So the moral of the story is sincerity is important when you're doing something. So from that day, Princess Aurora and this prince married and lived happily together. So that's all from me. Thank you so much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.